make sure Facebook is good. Okay, we're live on Facebook as well. Okay, so we got both platforms today. I guess I'm off a restriction on Instagram. I'm going to start off with lavender and the Black Woman Fragrance Incense, which I got from Culture Connection, which is out south. So check them out if you're looking for some really good fragrances. I'll tag them in this post. I hope everyone is doing well. I just had something happen on my porch that rattled me just for a second. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Navarro. Hi, Nisha. This just rattled me for a second, but I'm back on where I need to be at. So, the conversation that I want to talk about in community, and if you are joining me either via Facebook or Instagram, you are welcome to join me in the conversation. Just hit a request and join me on the live. It's about submission. And I want to talk about submission in all aspects as briefly as we can. But I'm noticing, because I'm an observer, right? I am noticing in society that there is a obsession with having someone submit to you in all interactions. And because I'm a Gemini and I'm realizing that there are certain traits that I do gravitate to, I do not like to be controlled. I do not like to be controlled without my permission. Let's put that out there. So if I didn't say yes and you're steady moving towards that for me, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good for you. So yeah, it's this thing of submission is really funny to me. Why people horn on so much having someone submit to them, and I think that's for wanting to keep human connection and not acknowledging that we do desire human connection, but we shame it at the same time. And that's where the need to have someone submit to you comes from, because if they submit to you, then you have all power over them. You have all will over them. And I think most of the times we think about submission, we think about it solely in romantic relationships. But submission happens in all, the request for submission, especially in American society, happens in all relationships. It happens in our parental relationship. It happens in our romantic relationship. It happens in our friendships. It happens in our workplace, right? So acknowledging it and being attentive to it can actually help us rectify some of the harm that happens when people move in malice to secure that submission. So I realized that, and I also am experiencing when someone is trying to engage in submission, and I realize that I'm very controlling. So I try to be very controlling, which is so weird because I don't like to be controlled. But I guess that's that power dynamic, right? And understanding within yourself what you're seeking. So, and actually I should change that. I used to want to be in control because I was trying to stop certain things from happening, so I won't feel anything, so I won't feel harm, so somebody won't be able to do what I think things have traumatized me. But I also enjoy being in charge. So I had to learn how to differentiate those things. Because I do love being in charge. I love being in charge, but I also like taking the back seat. So I think it's like figuring out what you like. And I feel like it's a case by case basis with me. It's always based on my interactions. It's always based on the social environment in which I am. And I analyze myself and like, okay, which dynamic do you need to be moving in right now? What power do you want to be passive, or do you want to be abrasive and assertive? You know, and not thinking that I have to show up one specific way one time. And that's why I don't like to be controlled, because I don't like for people to tell me when I should be assertive and when I should be submissive. I use my intuition for that, and I'm fully capable of utilizing my intelligence in all forms to do that. Now I'm gonna post a video where I submission came up for me as a talking point, because I've been dating a lot, and I've been doing job interviews, and I've been doing grant writing to secure like grant funding for my I don't like to call it a business. I'm really trying to get out of this capitalistic way of looking at creating things, but my organization, if that, for lack of better words, because I haven't. It's a holistic health advocacy firm, but using capitalistic ideals kind of takes away from what I'm trying to get away from. But you know, that's what the creative process is about, figuring out at some point. Anyway, long story short, I'm seeing, and as I'm interacting with people, I have a high self-esteem. I always will, right? And it doesn't matter to me. Thank you for the love. It doesn't matter to me what people may perceive me to be. It's not my reality. So when I'm interacting with people, if I feel like someone is trying to treat me a certain way, or they expect me to talk a certain way or move a certain way because of what they see, there's going to be some confliction between me and that person or entity. And I guess I would go with what's more general, because this is mostly what people resonate when it comes to submission. As I'm dating, the move to make me submit in first interactions is happening really, really fast, and with toxicity that I don't like. And I'm gonna post the video, but basically what happened to me is I was potentially looking at someone to date, and you know, we were engaging with each other, and this is what happens when you practice celibacy. I think this is one of the benefits of celibacy. You know, you have lust, you've grown, we have lust, you know, that's what we're human, and it's a beautiful thing. It's not nothing to be ashamed of. But when you have a certain discipline with your lust, you kind of can see when someone is coming to harm you. And you know, I was just trying to get to know this person, and and full disclosure, I have a lot of family members who have suffered from drug addiction, and actually have had family members pass away from it. So I kind of I know what that shit looked like, you know. And as I engage with this person more and more, you know, unfortunately, I saw this person trying to turn me out. And I was like, whoa, buddy, whoa. You going like, you doing the most. And I'm going to post a video about it, because I'm going to really express how I felt about it, and how I feel about what's happening with black women in Chicago, and my theory on why we have so many black women that were coming up missing in this city. And this idea of what's street and what's ain't, you know, what's law and what's not, and who can be preyed on, who's the predator, who's the prey. And everybody is stuck in this survival mode, and while they're in survival mode, they are seeking people to submit to them solely for the benefit of abusing them in the same way that they receive abuse. And it's fucking irritating. I would say scary, but let's be real. The way my heart's set up, I don't give a fuck. You bleed how I bleed, so move how you want to move accordingly, because this ain't that. I didn't see too many women suffer. I didn't see too many black women get sacrificed, and I just ain't with it. I won't be one of them, and I'm going to make sure that I vocalize whatever I see. In any place. We're not just talking about romantically. I'm talking about in the workplace. I'm talking about in family. Like, I'm just talking about this idea that we're supposed to be the fucking scapegoat. And people masking it with this idea that feminine energy is always supposed to be passive to abuse. And that shit, people will try to take it away, but that shit literally stems from slavery. The social norms that the black woman and our bodies and our spirit and our minds was to be used for currency, whether it be social capital or monetary capital, is like, it's about to die. Hold on. Oh, Nisha, hey, let's go in. we got Nisha coming on, so I'm so excited. What's up? Ah, there we go. Hey, love.
I'm brushing my teeth. Hold on, wait.
Okay. All right. So I'll just finish this up, so you can kind of catch into it. But yeah, this social norm, that's embedded in a lot of our psyches, that black women are up for people to prove their manhood. I say that to all melanated beings, not just ones who are heavy in pigmentation of melanation. I'm talking about from those who consider themselves to be of Eurocentric descent to those who consider themselves to be African descent or indigenous to this country. There's a trend that the woman's body is used for currency. Very, 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 very specifically, that black woman's body. And I'm just not with it. And because I can articulate what the fuck going on, sometimes I put people in uncomfortable situations. But I have no respectable politics in me. I have debunked that indoctrination a long fucking time ago, because it's not beneficial for someone who looks like me, for someone who walks like me, and for someone who talks like me. And if we're talking about survival and what's beneficial and all that, I'm always going to look out for myself first. And by looking out for myself first, I come with pure intentions. That shit just spreads and help us grow as a community. So there's a lot of setting up that's happening in this city, with women who are just trying to find companionship and compassion. And there's a lot of people that need to heal because they are displaying mother wounds and father wounds, and because a lot of our mothers have been rejected. And this is not just a black thing, and we're going to talk about this. This is an American cultural thing. A lot of our mothers are being rejected physically of their feminine energy, and we're all of masculine and feminine energy. So what's happening is the physical male is taking that and running with it and using that as, oh, that's a green light for abuse. Because these are my mother wombs, and she took that shit, so you should take that shit. No matter what I say, queen, goddess, because what I'm seeing is a lot of motherfuckers doing this, but their actions are not matching their words. And I'm calling them out, because if I'm treating you like a god and a king, and I'm treating you with compassion, and I'm coming with you with pure intentions and not trying to harm you, you have no right. You have no reason. Other than you are sadistic and cynical when engaging with the black woman. And because I don't follow that, because that's just it is. It is what it is. That's just, some people like it, some people don't. But what I'm saying is there's a toxicity, a poison within our community, that the norm is it's okay for black women to feel unsafe in their bodies, because we should be ashamed of seeking companionship. We should be ashamed of trying to be in healthy relationships of our decision making, of what we consider to be healthy. Not what somebody trying to tell us what it is, but of what our decision making is, because we have so many people projecting mother and father wounds. Everybody focus on that mother wound, but there's father wounds that we carry on as well, and we have to be attentive to them if we're going to heal as a community. But I'm going to speak as an individual. Get your shit together before you come in this energy. Because if you wasn't ready to heal, I advise you go that way. Go that way. Don't even come over here. Go that way. You ready, Nish?
Yeah.
Oh, I love your hair.
I just want to add, also, just for this situation for us women, it is self-accountability and women accountability. I feel a lot of times we get, at least these modern day women nowadays, we're kind of quick to everything, the masculinity, all the thoughts, the negativity, the insecurity, and I'm just seeing it now more as just a trend where men are kind of just getting the blunt force of every problem that exists in the world. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's time for us as women to start holding ourselves accountable for creating certain situations for ourselves. I feel like the standard of beauty and the stress we put on ourselves for a standard of beauty actually came from us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when it comes to control, I like that you admit it. Yeah, I'm pretty controlling. Sometimes we go into a relationship expecting a masculine man, but we have a very, very masculine personality. But then we're coming off aggressive and things that aren't necessarily attractive to a masculine man. And then we sit here and we wonder why, the situation isn't working, and we typically don't wonder. We just put the blame on it's the man, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't handle my energy. And I just feel like as women, we really need to start tapping into our femininity and realizing to stop being ashamed of it. It's okay to be feminine. And to just take accountability for everything. I think you can. Oh, snap, it's so dark. That's nothing. But I think you hit it on the nail. Like, we gotta start owning our shit and start really, really taking into account that no one, like I said, worry about yourself. No one's going to truly be there for you the way you needed to be there for, and it's no one's fault for that. If someone has to, like, when you're entering a relationship, anything, and you're at the point where someone can coach you to doing drugs, not you, I'm talking about, like...
No, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, another person, someone's cobain and coach you to drugs, you need to take accountability for where you were at. You know what I'm saying? And
so let me, wait, hold on, with that one, because I have family members who are addicted to drugs and who passed away from it, right? The respectable politics can be dangerous because, yes, absolutely, be accountable. But there are people, and just because I just experienced it, people who are preying on people who have no knowledge about it. See, the thing is, because I can code switch so well, and because I have a Eurocentric education, people think that I don't have an education in what we would consider to be hood politics, or what we would consider to be the streets, right? So if you're not familiar with that, say you're from a suburban type of culture, or you were sheltered in life, where people might seem like, oh, that's common sense not to go there. That's not common sense. So I'm literally watching this person. I'm like, I smell something. Oh, that's not that. So you get what I'm saying? It's the, huh? Yeah, I smell something. It's the fact that acknowledging that we are still human, and that idea of we have to see it within ourselves. Victim blaming does happen, right? If I was not knowledgeable about that, if I didn't have an intense knowledge about what it looked like, what it smelled like, and being around people with that, I would be fucked up. And then it's like, well, you should have been more accountable. I'm on a date, my nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is a date. So it's like, if we're going to talk about embracing femininity, if we're going to talk about really us acting as softness, we have to be afforded those safe spaces to do that. Otherwise, we go back into defense mode of that. So it's like, well, you knew. It's like, I'm just being very transparent. If I was, in my opinion, someone who didn't have high self-esteem, or someone who was shamed easily, I can see how people will stay away from that. But I'm going to go towards it and through it, because I am someone who has high self-esteem. I am someone of high intelligence, and I'm just trying to chill, and I'm getting introduced to shit that I didn't want to get introduced to. So me being accountable is like, I'm good, my nigga. But also me being accountable and letting everybody know that, yo, this shit can happen to you. There was 2 cases that happened in Chicago that are still staring with us. We have a woman who was a postal worker. Her name is Kiera Coles. She was a pregnant postal worker. She has been missing for a couple of years now. Nobody has found her. We also had the young lady named Kanika Jenkins, where she was in a hotel room with her friends, and she ended up in a hotel freezer. She was badly beaten. But it's like, accountability, yes, but also understanding that there is a psychological psychological socialization that black women bodies are up to be abused. And it's like, well, don't go here and don't go there. Well, that puts us in the police state. Everybody don't know everything. Everybody's not into everything. So it's like those who have an innocence about them get demonized at the same time they're trying to explain that someone is trying to harm them. And these are the type of things that goes on because I'm very thorough in that. And when they go to police stations for investigations, what were you wearing? What did you do? And I'm not saying those questions are not important, but it's equally important to have emotional intelligence. It is equally important, if we're going to talk about feminine energy, to be nurturing and giving the information out. Because everything is not a logical thing. And everybody is, if it was, then people wouldn't get harmed. You get what I'm saying? And we get harmed by the ones closest to us. Because people wear masks. And then it's like, oh shit, what happens is you don't know what happened until it's too late if you're not familiar with these things. So I emphasize once again, because I code switch very well, the areas in which I'm in, it's like, and how do I put the Chicago language? They think I'm a goofy. And it's like, a goofy is a lot of motherfucker, like, they're just naive as fuck. Right?
Okay,
like, you're just, which, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if somebody's naive, right? If you see that they're naive, why are you still preying on them? Yeah. So it's not about them being accountable. It's more about you are a fucked up as individual. And because you exercise some power and knowledge, you feel like this is the person you prey on. But you won't prey on somebody who knows it already. You get what I'm saying? So it's about being...
I feel like in those type of situations when you have prey and predator, absolutely, 1,000,000,000% agree. You know what I'm saying? That for me, I wasn't meaning so much accountability when you're in those type of situations where people are taking advantage of you. You're less, I wouldn't say less maturity levels, but naiveness, gullibleness, because you can be gullible at any age, and because of your kind heart and stuff like that, and people can easily notice you got something, and they'll target you just because they're like, oh yeah, she's gullible. I can even if I need an emotional fix or get an emotional reaction from somebody, I can tell that's something I can get out of it, because some people just wake up and they don't really care about nothing other than just getting an emotional reaction so they can get their fix for life. So I totally understand that. Like predator situations, yes. I'm more so for the modern woman of today who's trying to get into a relationship. I do believe that we are coming across a little too
what? Go ahead.
A little too like entitled and a little too accusatory. I feel like
I agree with that. I agree with that.
And we're not really taking full accountability for our own womanly actions. Now, like I said, I understand there is a difference when someone is being targeted and preyed upon. So that is never going to be an excuse. If a man is preying upon a naive young woman and also gaslighting her and then you breaking her down to the point where she feels a certain way that she has to do X, Y, or Z to feel better.
But but that's when you come back in with accountability, the feeling part. So I like what you just said. If I feel a certain type of way as an emotionally mature woman, I'm going to detach. You get what I'm saying? Like it's understanding collectively as women. Yes, we need to stand in our power and be accountable. Once you right there, at that point, what you just said. Once you feel a certain type of way, that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
that's your responsibility. A motherfucker gonna do that. I'm not. Yes, but also people do wear masks. But stop denying. I think that's the feminine energy. Now I think that intuition. You get what I'm saying? If I was desperate, it'd be like, oh, I don't smell that. Oh, but he fine though. Oh, but I really want company. That's where the accountability come in. Like, no, bitch, no. If this ain't how this go, this ain't how this go.
It's like, take accountability. Know that you don't really care for him per se because he's doing you dirty, but you yourself don't want to be alone. You yourself are just ready to kind of in a settled mentality, and it's like, no, take accountability for your worth. Because you're better than that. You're worth more than that. Get out of that situation, because the longer you continue to try to figure it out, you're losing yourself and you're losing the opportunity to really start loving yourself. So if you take accountability, not so much for, everything. I think that's the key word, especially since I've been using it a lot at my job, where I've been going through all kinds of controlling situations at my job.
Can you put some highlight on that? Because remember, I started off, I said submission I'm going to stick with the romantic because that's kind of the general thing. But what we need to understand is submission, this control for submission is embedded through our entire culture. It's not just in romantic shit.
Culture,
you know?
especially and at work right now, I have this whole thing where people are, the way they speak to you, the way that they're talking to you, they're trying to control your sense of reality. First off, where it's just like I'm having people talking down to me as if I'm incompetent, or trying to make me feel like I'm incompetent, making me trying to change, like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you're incompetent. And that's like, no, you're not going to control the situation by using little microaggressions and changing little soft kitty voices, speaking to like I'm a 6-year-old child, to weird ways of trying to control the situation, using tears and like it's all kinds of different ways to manipulate. At the end of the day, my first thing is to take accountability for your actions. I'll take accountability for mine, so we can really meet in the middle. But what I'm not going to do is have you speak to me, demean me, make me feel a certain type of way, try to attempt to.
Rosalind said she agree with you. Go take. Rosalind said she agree with you.
Oh my God! How you doing? But yeah, I'm just in a state of just trying to full-fledged, just trying to take some accountability for my actions, so that when I do approach these situations, I know that I'm coming at 100% correct, because I've already checked myself, I've already come acknowledged where I'm at, and so now I'm presenting this to you. What are you saying to me other than just your false reality, your delusion? It comes. I feel like it helps all of us will just accept where we at. Mentally, I don't really fuck with this man, but I know mentally I'm not emotionally ready to go out, don't do anything else.
See, but no, see, I have to disagree with that because I've been doing the healing. I've done the alienation. I've done the work. I also think there's a shaming that happens to black women when we seek companionship. It's because we have experienced so much trauma, because you know, on a micro level, the breaking of the black family, it's either, oh, it's the black man, it's the black woman. In actuality, it's this toxic warfare like mentality that we live in society. So it's like this dismissiveness that we are women, that we do seek companionship, and that when we do seek companionship, if it doesn't work out, well, girl, you must not love yourself. Well, we know, everybody that's so know on this thing, I'm a motherfucker that love myself from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I can, just like you said, like, you're not going to gaslight me. I know what's happening to me. I know what I'm going through. And it's like, well, sis, maybe you need some time alone. Yes, but I also need to be safe when I'm interacting with men. And there is a societal norm that have certain ideologies that black women are open for abuse. And I don't give on a collective type of thing. And it transcends through every societal institution, from the workplace to the educational system to just fucking basic romantic relationships. And when someone can articulate that, the stereotype or the stigma that gets placed on them is, oh, you're an angry black woman. Right. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'll be an angry black woman, because anger is a real emotion. When do someone feel anger? When they feel like there's something trying to stop them, or stops them from either growing, or that they don't feel safe. So I'm not the type of person, if I'm crying, and I'm crying in frustration, I'm crying in anger, then that's a human emotions. I'm not going to turn off my emotions seeking compassion, seeking romantic relationships. As a 32-year-old woman, I'm not going to keep being susceptible to this, well, sis, you need time alone. I have that already. When are we going to start holding other adults accountable for how they interact with other adults? And I'm not saying I'm perfect. What I'm saying is that this idea that we're supposed to be limited in our human experience, or we deserve some type of punishment or punitive action if the relationships doesn't go in the way that we society think that it's supposed to go. Like, there's so much debunking that we have to do when we're dealing with any type of relationship. Like, even workplace, when I go on interviews, my dad say, Myra, just play the game. Just play the game. I cannot afford to play the game anywhere, because that shit led me to therapy. Right?
Ain't nothing.
No, but no, I love therapy. But what was happening is I was resisting who I truly was. You get what I'm saying? It's like when you go into, so a question that I got was, would you be objective in your evaluation? This was for a civilian police accountability office in Chicago. Would you be objective in every case with the police officer if they harmed a particular community member? And I was very transparent with them. I said, I'm going to be real with you. If I experience this similar trauma, then I would do the professional responsibility of asking to be excused from this case, because I know I wouldn't be able to be objective. And I had people say, well, you shouldn't have said that. Now you don't get no job. Why? Why
Yeah,
are
that's
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I said that's just because if you're being honest, which is I'm there right next to this thing on Air Force Place.
Oh, take your time, baby.
But I feel like a lot of these police officers aren't being honest and with their emotions and their conscious and unconscious bias. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh,
You breaking out in and out, baby girl.
oh my bad. I got to turn this way. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Pretty much what I was saying is I think it is better for people and police officers in particular to be honest with their bias. Be honest with it. Don't, and like you said, like, yeah, I probably would not be able to overlook that situation. That right there would have been cute for me to, yes, hire you. Definitely hire you. Because one, you're honest. You're willing to put yourself in a vulnerable, you're vulnerable, you're willing to be vulnerable with someone with your honesty. And that alone is the type of police officers we need. We need people who are honest. Honest, like white people just like, yeah, I am a little biased towards black people, and it's not because I'm racist, it's because I didn't grow up in that day, I didn't grow up, I didn't learn, I'm uneducated, I'm illiterate, and it's the fucking truth. Guess what? Those are the type of people we need. We don't need people who are just, what do they call it, colorblind. We don't need the type of people who are just
in denial.
I don't see anything, or I'm not racist. It's like, nah, I need people who take full accountability of their thoughts that come transpire in their head, their emotions, accept it, be honest with it, because I feel like I've been spoken to a lot of racist people and found out that they pretty damn cool, and they're really not racist, they just dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But you're honest, and what makes it easier to deal with an honest person, if you're honest about your bias, you can go and hire them, work on it, and then I would probably tell you, you know what? I'm gonna put you in that situation. I'm gonna get you I'm gonna take you out of your people, and I'm gonna have you patrol the white folks. You know what I'm saying? So that you can learn them, and so that you can experience them and get outside of that and be able to adapt to situations. I honestly am in a state of being completely honest, like with yourself, and then being able to speak that honesty out to the world. That's gonna really make a difference in all aspects of life. For women, be honest about our own personal flaws. Be honest about the men that we're choosing, that we know have red flags, that we shouldn't probably have even allowed them their entertainment, but we went ahead.
Whoa, hold on. But that goes back into that shaming part, and I am projecting because it's like
a little bit of shame is healthy in my opinion. I feel like the only way people are going to change is to have that little bit of shame.
But everybody doesn't learn like that, Nisha. That's what I'm saying. Everybody doesn't learn with shame.
I feel like you have some things cannot all be. Not all things can be great. Not all things can be good.
And I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying, go ahead.
I'm about to say, whether you learn.
Girl, we got better at this. Remember we used to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm trying. Like I'm really out here doing the therapy. I'm out here trying to. I'm talking.
Yes.
But, I feel like I'm not trying to shame anyone. I'm talking about like even for myself. I feel like a lot of times we women we do know what the type of man is. You know what I'm saying? If we end up in a relationship where he's controlling, manipulative, going through, it's like a lot. We have red signs, but we choose to not acknowledge the fact that we're desperately looking for things. And no, it's not a shame to be looking for things, but we do have to realize, like, that's where we're at right now. If that's where you're at right now, acknowledge that first. Don't go in there like, oh, shame, feeling that. Just acknowledge it. I'm looking for love. Say it to the person you're with. I'm looking for love.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. The shame part I'm saying is, for us, like you saying, like everybody has red flags and everybody has green flags, and I think the conversation about relationships is always focused on red flags. The reason why you're interacting with this person is because you saw green flags too. So it's like putting yourself in alienation is not always healthy either. And at some point, and I guess I'm just one of the people who fight through social fucking awkwardness. I'm just one of the people who fight through certain things. Now, I know when to let the fuck go. I'll let go. And that comes with maturity, that comes with experience. But also, I think this idea of letting go people so quickly is a trauma response. And it's like, that's what I'm saying though, but like, a lot of us desire, but a lot of us collectively, because as I'm coming more into my womanhood, I'm perfectly fine with just having the person all the way over there, and we just be cool, right? I don't need you in the same household as me right now, but it's just me, right? And it's weird for people to see me and be like, oh, you're not seeking. I'm seeking partnership, but I'm not seeking a husband, because the friendship will come, right? Like. I don't look at a man and be like, oh, that's going to be my husband. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a nice interaction. Now, if we decide to go into matrimony later on in our interaction, that's fine. But it's the context of like, and I think your point is very valid, because yes, be cognitive of where you're at, right? But being cognitive of where you're at kind of eliminates that desperation. So if that person didn't work out, like for instance, I could take on shame in that interaction, but why the fuck would I do that? That's a grown ass man. I didn't introduce you to that shit. As a grown ass woman, I said I'm not with it, right? So I'm not with it. You're a cool person. I'm not gonna demonize you, because like I said, I have family that does that shit. So I don't look at you like you ain't shit. All I'm saying is you ain't shit for trying to put that shit on me. And I'm gonna let you know before I leave up out of here, because the next woman you cross, I hope she crack your shit. That's just how I feel about it. But that's if you're high in esteem, you don't take on like, well, I should have knew better. How the fuck I supposed to know? I don't do the shit. That's your life. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you do it and get into these interactions, it's not like, well, with the next person, I'm not gonna be paranoid. Like, no, I'm not gonna be paranoid. I'm gonna let my guard down, because I think vulnerability is a fucking strength. I'm protected. I got strong ass boundaries. No means no, motherfucker. And please don't cross that line, because you don't want that type of smoke. That's how I come. So it's just like, I don't feel no shame, because baby, that's your life. And I'm not going to beat you down before I exit. But a person, for example, a red flag to me is someone who is trying to be extra controlling. But you can't control me. So if I like you, we can play, but you're not going to control me. You just going to frustrate yourself. You might be a controlling ass nigga. You not finna control me though. So it's like, either he's gonna get fed up because he see that he can't get what he want out of me, and I was able to learn from that experience. It's also about knowing your strength, also knowing how strong you are in certain areas of dating, right? And taking it as an experience.
That's what I mean by like taking accountability. That you said it better. Knowing your flaws, and I don't mean like, because everyone has flaws, but like things where you know, relationship wise, you probably like, you should know if you yourself are ready to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like me, me personally, I feel like I got a lot of healthy that I don't think it part of my.
But do you think because you are working on yourself that you're not able to date though? Do you stop yourself from dating?
Yeah.
Why? You breaking up? Because I want to hear this.
I think I fell into a deeper type, weirder depression, in which I have accepted all things that is my mindset, and right now I'm trying to work on getting out of it. So maybe I'm just not there yet, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just, but I have to be aware of that, because If I just went off of, oh, he's fine, he's really nice, he's a really good dude, and I didn't, I'm kind of lonely right now, and not taking myself full accountable for my health issues that I know I can't really burden someone with. This is something that I have to get professionally taken care of. But I go into a relationship and I'm trying to hide that because, we got to be strong. We got to be women and wanted, so we got to hide that. But I know it's going to come out in another form. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm saying is like, we as women like start really trying to, and I don't mean like, I hate how it's coming out where it's like, I'm saying we got to take responsibility for how they know. It's like this. When I say take accountability, I mean take accountability, and sometimes we don't love ourselves the way we should. And take account when we're coming into the relationship, but where we don't have. This might not. I don't know how to say this. We don't have all the things we're supposed to bring to the relationship, and you know what I'm saying. And maybe that guy, whoever we're going with, don't really have it, but we need to maybe. I wouldn't say. I don't know how to say it. Having a kind of.
No, I get what. No, but here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but why? Okay, and as a black woman, right? Can I say this?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we supposed to be motherfucking. Now, if I'm being arrogant, I don't give a fuck. I feel like we think we supposed to be perfect in order to have love, right? But we accept everyone in this fucking society in the state that they're in. Tell me I'm lying. Collectively, do black women, we're not talking about the small minority and shit. Do we not accept people for who they are when we interact with them, when we engage with them romantically, when we working with them, when we do friendship? Do we not collectively take most people as who they are, right? But we got to go back and we have to perfect ourselves before we can interact and have pleasure. So
you are right.
That's why I'm so rebellious with this shit. Like I for a long time I was gravitating to what you just said, hiding certain shit about me because it's my responsibility to take care of, right? So when I'm carrying my shit because it's heavy, you finna see all of it. I'm not asking you to come save me. But as I'm in the processing of building myself, and this is a lifelong thing. This shit don't just in 30 days, 15. This is lifelong, right? So whatever point that I am at my life, you're going to experience that, and I'm not going to be hiding it. Like me, if I feel some type of overwhelming, I gotta go back to therapy, and that stops me from certain things, jobs or interacting with romantic relationships. If you don't have the capacity to deal with me in that form, by all means, no hard feelings, but get the fuck on, because I'm not finna hide it. I'm not finna hide it though. You get what I'm saying? It's like me. That's why I feel like the accountability comes in. We are strong, we are resilient, but we're also soft. We're also vulnerable, and we deserve. If we're gonna talk about romantic partnership, we deserve romantic partnerships in every aspect of our lives. Because if you can't handle me in this season, right? If not handle, I don't like that word. If you can't experience me,
experience.
Yeah. If you can't experience me or appreciate me in this season, I don't take it as no hard feelings. Like I said, you're not my savior, but I see you in a different light now, because you have an expectation, unfortunately for black women, for us to take everybody in every season that they go through. That's what I'm saying. There's an expectation for us to take everybody in their seasons, but when we have our seasons, everybody back the fuck up. And I think Nisha is lonely right now. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I adore her.
Girl, my thing then dipped out on me real quick. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. So I thank you, Nisha, for coming on. Is there anything else you would like to
have more of these?
Huh?
We gotta have more of these. I was about to say, I just want to say I love watching you. I'm trying to get on to the new, healthier physical lifestyle. So I am going to be buying a yoga mat, and I'm going to be popping up on I was at Meditation Monday. And I just wanted to.
Y'all, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt her, but I love her so much, and if she does this with me, she will be my best friend. But fucking ever, I don't care. Oh,
so
okay.
Already lost in my phone as my BFF, and it's been that way since I don't know about 10 plus years. So.
We argue a lot though too. Just let y'all know. So if we get on this camera and we act the fucking fool, just know it's nothing but love.
You see me, I don't give no. Hey, you see me. I'm out here. I'm with it.
We will. I'm just promising y'all, shit's gonna get intense. If this becomes Myra and Nisha, and hopefully Tay join us, because I know she itching for it. I know she want to come with us. Come on, Tay. She's gonna be like she's the earth sign, so she's water, I'm air, and she's gonna keep us glued. But yeah, just let y'all know, because I know she finna do it. When she puts something in her mind, she's finna get it done. So I'm ready, Nisha.
Like, what we doing though? What is the next one?
Every Monday. Huh?
Every Monday, okay.
I mean, and also,
be working out and stuff.
Huh?
Stretching and doing the yoga. You gonna be stretching and doing all the yoga
yes,
stuff.
Yes,
girl,
yes.
I got some stage. I'm finna be up in this house.
Yes.
Girl, look,
Oh, I'm so happy.
I gotta get a yoga mat.
Huh?
Yeah, I just gotta get a yoga mat, but until I'm just gonna use this little copper thing.
Yeah, you can use like a small blanket or anything just to get it done. The yoga mat, yes, you can use that. You can put your like crystals and stuff on there. The yoga mat is just really for the cushion, because you might fall a little bit. You know, just give you a little more cushion behind there.
I just feel like it makes it look official.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
So if you can, and we can go into details, but while we're here, we might as well do it. Just showing people how to create content and showing people how this how they can kind of team up as community, right? So hopefully this can inspire other people to do this with their friends and their family, and we can kind of get the ball rolling all together and join the community. So if you want to like pick a topic, or if you think there's something that you want to talk about, and we can mental health. What part, like mental health, and what you want to just do it broad?
I feel like we need to talk about how health is not over.
You breaking off, and I feel like you're saying some real dope shit.
I said in the black community, health is taboo. I know growing up for me it was taboo. Getting help going to the therapy was considered a taboo. Like, I'm not supposed to that strength, you know, the right man to fix my problem. As black women, we are strong and suck everything up and be the ones who bear a lot of weight, but we don't go and seek mental health, and then that turns into physical damage. I want to speak about how it can affect us physically. Stress is a dangerous thing; it can kill. And I want to just speak about again, it's not taboo. It's okay to speak about it. I'm advocating on voicing it and letting it be known, because me holding it in my head and making myself feel ashamed about it, you know, makes me just cover and just be isolated and then ashamed, and it doesn't go away not talking about it. So when I let someone and people know, hey, get help. Don't let it hover. Don't let it hold on. There's so many little black girls out there that don't know how to deal with their emotional problems because their mothers don't know how to deal with it and don't even acknowledge it. So just we acknowledge it and work on it, and know that yes, you don't have to be perfect. In fact, it's a beautiful thing not being perfect. It's a exciting thing, because perfection is boring as fuck, and it's hard, and it's stressful, and it's impossible. So I just want to talk about just mental health and get it out there in the open and make it okay, and whatever you want to describe in your experience. I know it affected my family greatly. Mm-hmm. It affected me greatly, and I don't want it to go down and continue to cycle with my daughter Ariel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate to see this be a thing where she's suffering, where so many little black girls are suffering but not allowed to voice it because it's taboo. So I just want to talk about that. That's something that near dear to me.
Okay, so community, next week we're going to talk about mental health, and it looks like we're going to put a spotlight more, because you know we black women. So what's our priority over here? Black women.
Black men. Hey,
no. It ain't a war. It's not a war, but you can't help nobody until you help yourself.
Because y'all be going through, y'all had the burden of building the world and not being, credited for it. So y'all seek help, because I love y'all. I love us, and I want to go see. This is not just a little black girl situation, because I know there's no black boys out there sitting there saying, I can't even shed a tear or I'm a bitch. So get help, because
so what I can add to that, and I have to add this to that, because we do a lot of the labor in the community, right? And that's why I like the community engagement. We say that But the black men need to start putting action behind it. This is how I feel about it. And I guess we always do the side of the coin. You see how you just was pointing in on accountability? Because I see how, because we do so much, and people take it a certain way when I say this, but black women are my priority because I'm a black woman. Black men need to take heed to what we're doing. I can't do the work for you. I can't do the labor for you. So just like I created this space, black men need to come join us or create their own space to do this. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I feel like the accountability comes into part. It's like, well, the black woman gonna take the black man and the black woman. Nah, the black man gotta stand on his own, baby. You're just as intelligent. You're just as strong. And I know they have projected to you that your woman is supposed to be over you, and that's not what the fuck this is. So because I walk the way I walk, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna let you a man. So I'm gonna treat you like a man. And you're the vessel in which no, I'm gonna be real. You're the vessel. I'm not for the color your ass with it. You're the vessel in which the healing is supposed to happen for you, men and young boys. So that way nobody feels overconsumed. Huh?
I do think because we are, I just been seeing a lot, doing a lot of studies, and I do think that's good. They just need to hear it. They need to hear whoever says it doesn't really matter at this point, but it's not being said enough. So black men, start saying it to yourself more, holding yourself to your mental health and taking yourself accountable for the way you're entering these relationships and any relationship, because you know that's a lot of reason why the black family is no more, because we're not taking care of this. So please, just whoever. I don't like to just mental health affects everybody, but this awareness. And I just found out that it's Minority Mental Health Month.
Yes, it is. Oh, I just listened to a podcast of the woman who created it. She actually she fought it till she left this earth. And that's why I'm into the holistic healing thing, because I've noticed that most of the black women, they put their bodies on the line. You know, like they were fighting for stuff. She was literally fighting a physical illness. And it's like we get so consumed with fighting against this racist system that we don't really get to enjoy life. And that's what I want us to do, to be able to enjoy life. And in order for us to enjoy life, we have to we have to pay attention to our mental health. We have to pay attention to how we interact with each other. And it is important, because life was not meant for us to just struggle. You know? Exactly. I think that's really what my point is. Like, it's not meant for us to struggle. And that's why I go back into the submission. If you always seeking, you come across everybody trying to make you submit, you be like, hold on now. Hold on. I didn't come here for all that.
And then you know we getting it from everywhere. Every direction, you know what I'm saying? They
yes.
You especially, and to be strong and submissive at the same time, or we're deemed a nuisance.
Yep.
You gonna make it right? Yeah, sorry. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that we kind of get from our sides, you know what I'm saying? So we're not nuisance, we're just, you know, we just like women.
Trying to live, trying to have fun, I'm literally trying to get as much enjoyment out of life as I can. And I think if we share real stories instead of, I'm gonna say it like this so people won't get an idea about me. Man, I'm gonna put both of my middle fingers. Fuck that. I am who I am, and you know I am fantastic in every angle and every fucking goddamn story that I say and every experience that I've been through. You're not like that shame shit. I'm so over it, and it's like that's to just make us feel like we're not supposed to enjoy this shit. No, when I leave this earth, it's gonna be with a big old smile, and I'm happy, you know. So I don't know when I'm gonna transition, but it ain't no time soon. But when I do, I do. But we're at I'm gonna shoot. I didn't get all up in the. I'm at 5%. So I'm just gonna wrap. I'm gonna wrap up our community. Please stay on there while I wrap it up. Thank Nisha, have Awaken. So fucking dope for her to join me today. Please be looking forward for her Monday. Please hold her accountable. She said she's gonna come every Monday, so I'm ready. She's gonna grab her yoga mat. 5:30 to 6:30 Central Time.
Central Time.
Yeah.
Is Chicago It's an hour ahead.
Yep, an hour ahead.
All right, so this will be like, what time would that be for us?
5:30 to 6:30 for you.
All right.
Okay. So thank you all for joining us, and I hope on Facebook you were able to hit Nisha. Thank you for joining us in community today. I can't wait to see y'all next Monday. Just from off the dome of Nisha, we're going to be talking about mental health and highlighting it and how it affects our community and how we should be really paying attention to it and what resources might be available. I'm all about giving resources, so I'll give you some of the tools that I've been utilizing to make sure that I stay in a good mental healthy space. Nisha, is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, thank you for always just having it available and making, so many great videos to just watch and just help and be therapeutic too. And I'm excited. I love you, and I'm just excited to just, and being able to use your healing space for healing us too. So I'm excited. I'm working and I'm working on something, and thank you for being there.
Okay. Thank you, sweetie. Kisses, and we will see y'all next week. Peace out.
Bye.